Well guys, it is time. I have mentioned it in several of my videos now. It is time to tell you what this random supplies art challenge is that I keep mentioning. Also, if you have a bunch of art supplies at home that you currently are not using, but you want to, I have a couple of tips for you there at the end for how to do that. Let's get to it. Welcome to my channel. My name is Miranda, and on this channel we do primarily watercolor, but once in a while we get distracted by another fun art supply because art is fun. So what is this random supplies art challenge anyway? Well, if you've been around here a while, you know I have a lot of art subscription boxes, and for a long time I have been subscribed to Smart Art and Palettefull packs. Now, this is the last month that I'm receiving Smart Art box, which is so sad, but I've been subscribed to them since 2018, and then Palettefull packs, I think since 2019, and I did subscribe to Let's Make Art for a while. Point of all of that is I have a lot of supplies. Some I have put right into the giveaway bin because I knew I would never use them again, but some I'm like, these are kind of intriguing and interesting, and I want to keep them. Long story short, I have a lot of art supplies, and you can't just use them all the time. It doesn't happen. You get caught into one thing, like I am really into watercolor right now. So I have all these really great alcohol markers and watercolor pencils and other colored pencils and acrylics, oils, this, that. I love them all. Love them. I like them all. But it's hard to find the priority to use them. So what I have done, and I'm showing you on the screen right now, is put a list of every art supply that I have kept, and I've probably missed a few, but that's okay. I'll have some blank sheets for when I find those ones that I've missed. But I've put them in an Excel spreadsheet, listed them out, and then I'm printing it out and cutting these apart, all right? So this is all of my art supplies. Oh my goodness, it's a lot. Now, the reason that I'm doing this is because I want to actually use these art supplies, and I don't want to use them so infrequently that I've forgotten what they're like. So I just think that without this drawing, this random art supplies drawing, I wouldn't use them very often. And this at least will force me to remember that I have this one cool art supply, so I need to try it out, and I'm really excited for that. So I have this one vase here that I put this label for acrylic brushes on, but I ended up putting my acrylic brushes over there in a different place. So I think that I like this vase a lot. I could paint on it. Oh my gosh, what a concept. I could put my own painting on here. Anyway, that would be really fun. So I'll pull this sticker off. You can see that it's gonna kind of peel apart in pieces. Oh well. But I'll get it off of there, and I'll put my random supplies, all those little pieces of paper, into here. You're probably seeing that on the screen already. It's a little dirty inside. I think I just dusted myself. This one will be labeled, what will it be labeled? Unused art supplies, or I don't know, step 1, step 2. I just need to find one more similar to this, because what I want to do is when I pull out an art supply randomly from this list, put it in the bin of used. Yeah, so maybe this should be like unused art supplies. So what I want to do is I will take a random drawing from this side, and once I use that art supply, I will put it in that other vase. That way I'm not pulling out the same art supply twice in a row. I cannot go to the other vase of those used art supplies until everything in here has been picked. So I think it's going to be really fun. Unfortunately, I probably only have time to do this once a month, but right now I'm doing it 0 times a month. So once a month is definitely better than 0 times. All right, let's get all of these in here and do a drawing, see what we're going to work with for art fun today. All right, here they all are. Oh, I just made a mess. Not very good at this. So I will just close my eyes or hold them away from me and pick one to use. Here are my blanks. So as I get more supplies, we will add to that. Some of them are like nesting inside of each other, which I guess is just going to happen. So shall we pick one for today to do? Yes, we should. Okay. I know you can't see my face, but I am closing my eyes. But I will tell you, if I get airbrushed today, I don't have time to deal with that. So that would be just put back in. If I get it another day, I'll make time for it, but not today. Okay, here goes. Closing my eyes, my face is away, turned away. Here we are. Oh, Niji watercolors, sweet. Okay. I was just talking with Becky in the comments, Becky Trigger Art, about a reference photo she used in one of her latest videos. I used in one of my pretty old videos where I used the Niji watercolors to do it. Anyway, we ended up using the same reference photo. It was fun. So, Niji watercolors. So let's give them a try. There's a few things about them I don't like, but, oh look, I dropped one. That wasn't in there. That's okay. Now that this one's been drawn out, just to go over what I mentioned earlier, is this will go into a different pot, which I don't have yet. I will find something in my house already that I can use. And then the next time I draw, this will no longer be in there, so that I am trying to get through all the supplies I have. Now, if I don't like these Niji watercolors this time around, I will gather all of them up that I own and put in my giveaway bin, because a big part of this is determining if I even want to keep all these supplies or not. You know, originally I was keeping them because if I have neighbors or something come over, kids, maybe I'll have grandkids one day. You know, my son is married now. We'll see. I thought this would be a fun set for them to use. But I also have Van Gogh paints, which I don't know if I'd want the kids to use because I love them. I have Pretty Excellent paints. Those I wouldn't mind them using because there's so many of those. But I have other sets is the point, that if I don't fully like these, I will go ahead and let them go. And then this can just go in the trash can instead of back in the mix for extra supplies to keep trying. But we'll see. Here are the Niji watercolors we put in this little palette. I'll link that video up there for you. And what I am telling you right now and here, that is backwards. What I'm going to tell you right here and now is don't bother drying these out in pans. They already have a super chalky appearance, which I expected. I did not expect that. Never filled up that empty half pan that I was talking about in that video. And let's see how they re-wet. Let's just see real quick. Paper? I don't have paper. Here we go. Okay, so they re-wet fine. That's not an issue. Kind of pretty. So what I think we might do is go ahead and use this dried set. I do have them still in their tubes, so I could use them wet if I wanted to. The set isn't open, but I have an open set somewhere. I don't mind these Niji paints when they're wet. They are fine to use. I mean, I like all paint, so don't listen to me. I'm kind of a paint lover. But I think since these are unopened, I'll probably put these in the giveaway bin now and just get rid of one more thing. Let's paint for our random supplies drawing. I pulled out my trusty Winsor & Newton size 10 round brush and started with the background. And the colors, the greens, there's two different greens, two different blues, and mixing those together is really nice. And then that light brown that you see next to the dark blue, that actually was a really pretty color. Actually, not that one, the one before the black. That was very unique. It kind of had gray and granulation, and it was really pretty. You can see that right under the bumper of the truck. I liked it a lot. And then I went ahead and put a little bit of red and yellow in the background, so maybe it looks like lighter leaves, or maybe some flowers. And then I remembered, good thing I remembered, there were parts of this truck that I wanted to mask off. So I did that really quick. I did not draw this truck, by the way. I traced it. I was in a huge hurry, so if I had drawn it, it would have taken another extra hour at least, and you'll hear more about that later. And as usual, I tried to do everything with this big round brush, and I realized finally, eventually, I don't think you see it for a minute here, but I switched to a smaller brush because I'm like, I kind of need some thinner lines, and I'm in too much of a hurry to like make this really work for me. Like, you can get this brush to a really fine point, but you guys, if you have a smaller brush, just use it. There you go. You can see I switched to one. I don't even know what this brush was or where it came from. I assume it was an art mystery box, but I don't know. I think that was the first time I've used it. I just grabbed the little one that I saw out of my stash up there hanging on the wall, and that was it. I thought this old truck would be really fast to paint, but it's definitely not fast. I put all of this recording in, I think I did 10x speed on the camera, and then I had to speed it up even more here in the editing software, which means this probably took an hour and a half to paint minimum. I didn't actually officially add up that footage, but it was a lot longer than I had expected. So for me being in the hurry that I was, I should have chosen something else, because I still wanted to do this a lot of justice, because I didn't really think that it's really fair for me to do a random supplies challenge and then just rush through it. So I did take my time for the most part with this. At the very end there, I kind of say, this has to be good enough. But it's okay. I actually like it. The way it turns out is pretty unique. I end up putting yellow ochre in towards the end here in the bumper. You'll see that as I get to it. And the one thing I did have trouble with was the darks being dark enough, and that tends to be a thing with me when I do these old trucks. I'm afraid to go in too dark, and then it's like, oh, haha, I should have gone way darker. So I do have to go back over a few things at the end, but at the very, very end, I'm like, I think that's okay. So you'll see all the little touch-ups I do. It takes forever, and then pulling the masking fluid off was not the easiest thing. I've used masking fluid with bee paper before, and I haven't really noticed a problem, so I wonder if it was the way the paint attached to this particular paper, or I don't know. My masking fluid, that little pin is a little bit old, but they say after 6 months, that one you're supposed to use up in 6 months actually, so I don't know. I'll have to try a different paper and see, and maybe I need a gum eraser, or I think that's what they're called, that you can remove masking fluid with. And I am just using masking tape, so that did not help things along at all. So here you can see it finishing up. Small details, adding some more shadow under the truck, and that's where the masking fluid's getting taken off, and don't have the best of luck with that. So I kind of just leave it as is, tint a few areas, and call it good. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of time. I was actually supposed to leave to head out to my Mexico trip a long time ago, like an hour ago. So this is what we get. I'm sure there are things that I've probably overlooked, things that should be darker, things that should be lighter, whatever. But this is it for now. We're going to call it good. So, ripped a little bit. Anyway, painting with this paint seemed fine, like nothing bugged me. It does dry lighter than even some of the professional grade watercolor paint that I might use. I did use a lot of water with it, and I think it looks pretty decent. One thing that it did not stand up to, and this is B watercolor paper here, it did not stand up to when I scratched off the masking fluid, the masking tape. You can see that it actually scratched the paint, and it's actually kind of a neat effect on this old truck. So I'm not terribly upset about it, but it didn't tell me whether I should just get rid of these watercolors or keep them or anything like that. Because nothing bugged me, like I said, and so I don't have, I'm trying to find the date. I don't have, an amazing thing to tell you, oh, I'm definitely getting rid of these pieces of crap, or I'm definitely keeping these, nothing like that, because nothing bugged me, so probably not all that useful. But that was fun, and since these are already in this small little palette and not in the way, and I don't have anything else I'd rather put in this palette right now, I will go ahead and keep these and put them back in my drawer. Oops, I might need their little sheet with them. And this will just go in the second vase that I have not made yet. So we won't be pulling that one out for a while again because we have so many other supplies to go through. This was so much fun, you guys. I am so glad I did this. This will let me use those art supplies that I've kept because I really enjoy them, but I put them away and they take the back burner to other fun things that I know I love, like watercolor. So I encourage you to do this with your own art supplies. And if you find you still aren't using them because maybe you're home alone most of the time, or you don't have a group to go do art with, or somebody to come over and do art with, you guys probably are gonna like this. Well, maybe you will. Start a YouTube channel. If you want your YouTube channel to go anywhere, you have to upload regularly. So on a schedule. So I upload on Tuesdays and Fridays, at least at the time of this video. That may change in the future, but right now, Tuesdays and Fridays. And I have to have a video out for you. So I have to use some kind of art supply that I have in my house, in my art studio, in order to get content out for you guys. So I encourage you, if you really, truly want to use your art supplies, start a YouTube channel, commit to 1 video a week, do it on time every week without fail, and guess what? You will start to use your art supplies. That is one of the main reasons I actually started this YouTube channel, and I am loving it. I am loving connecting with you guys. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you got some inspiration out of today's video. Guys, I will see you in the next video because I'm putting out videos so that I can use my art supplies. Bye for now. Don't knock over my light, cat. Cats get very flat to the ground when you want to pick them up. Oh, he's mad. He gave me mean eyes. All right, I had Mercy. I let him go, but now my golden retriever is walking up the stairs and she clunks really loudly. She's an old girl and stairs are hard for her, so it's like clunk, clunk, clunk. There she is. All right, well, we have hard floors also, so they're gonna walk around a minute. The dogs say hi to each other before they lay down. Now that I'm talking to you guys, they're like, oh, someone's here? Is there company? We should go see. Walking around the whole kitchen, the whole living room. Oh, there's the puppy. Don't knock the light over. You may just have to have some background dog walking noises. Where were we? And then I will print this out on... And then I am printing it out on the... No. Okay. Oh, I'm a little slap happy. Lack of sleep. Anyway, 5 humans. What did I say? I don't know what I was talking about. And I'm kind of scared. I'm kind of scared for this whole thing. Like, oh, what if I don't want to use that particular supply that day? This is a lot of supplies. You guys, if you do this, do you have this many supplies? I feel like I have a very small art room. I could have a huge art room here in this house, but I don't. I just put this on the side of my living room, and it's just separated by that divider you see behind me when you guys see my face on screen. And I just have a dresser and some shelves underneath this particular desk that I'm working on. But look at this list of supplies. How many supplies do you guys have? I want you to do this with me. Like, seriously, if you have supplies that you don't use enough of, but you want to, or you want to go through your supplies and see what you actually like, do this with me. Do you guys have this many supplies? Holy moly. With, I have no idea what I'm talking about. Thumbnail. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.